Welcome to another episode of the Roll-Wise Show. My name is Mike, and today I'm with my two good friends, Brent and Jeff, and we're going to be playing some Night's Black Agents. Today's episode is going to be a continuation of our Harker Intrusion, where we started last week with the initial travel down to Marrakesh, and they were looking for a reporter who may have gotten a little caught up in some bad things. It's Olivia Liu. So we're going to start with a little bit of a description, and then we'll see how tonight goes. But if you like these kind of actual plays, or you want us to try out different games or other RPG products, let us know in the comments. Jump down there. And if you really like what these these shows talk about, or if you like our quick playthroughs of games, throw us a subscribe. It doesn't hurt. Let us grow the channel and all that stuff. So, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. So, when last we met our two agents, they were in Marrakesh, and they had just come out into an alley behind the Riad Rouge, a small house that had been converted into a hotel, and the last known place of Olivia Liu. Living into the alley, you kind of come into the press of the Medina, lots of people kind of going about their way. You're actually just off the main market there. And so, people coming, going, smells, sounds, it's almost just like kind of touristy structured chaos. It's really, the press and throng of people make it easy to get lost in there if you were to try just even a little bit. But from emerging, one thing you did get from the room is you did get Hasan Safet's address. You have a pile of documents, and you probably have just a little bit of time because
we got his name, and Jeff knows him.
Mm-hmm, yep. I was just going to say you probably have a little bit of time before the people, that are the thug that you tied up and concealed in the room somewhere, before they start wondering what's taking him so long. Really, that's probably a thing, especially since you smashed his radio. So you guys are in the alley. You have the smell of cooking fires and spices from the market stalls. You hear a call to prayer in the distance. You can feel the light going a little more amber as the afternoon is starting to tip towards evening and all that kind of stuff. You have Safet's name. You have all the research. And of course, the Safet's address in the Mellah is really just maybe 1.5 kilometers away. Damn it. A kilogram, a kilometer.
1 K.
Crap. The metric system.
Not a kilo, not a kilogram. Those are both weight.
It's a few feet, whatever American units are in this.
Also, probably isn't feet. It would be miles if you're looking for any sort of distance.
It's 1.5 kilometers away.
There you go.
That's
we got there.
They should teach us the metric system better. So it's a few streets away, about 1.5 kilometers away or so. What do you guys do? You guys got all this information. What are you?
We definitely want to head away from the guys that we know are watching the house, and then get to a populous enough street probably to get some sort of ground transportation.
As in, like, steal some ground transportation?
No, catch a cab, or I don't know. Do they have human powered, like a bike, rickshaw type thing? I don't know what they have in Marrakesh.
Oh yeah, they have a few different ways. Probably most reliably, you could catch a cab and take that to somewhere if you wanted to try to do that. That would
probably be the thing we'd want to do.
Okay. And then are you guys, because Jeff, you said Safet because you actually made him into your contact. Are you doing anything to contact him? How do you
on the way there, I would probably try to call him.
Okay.
Or email, however we contact each other, email, whatever.
Well, as you spent a network point on him, I'd assume you'd have multiple ways to contact him.
Yeah.
Maybe
Flare.
you have like you at least have the most common phone number for him, or maybe
I'll try to reach him that way and see what happens.
Okay. So reaching out to Hasan Safet, he's definitely a man of little words on the phone. But
Sure.
he once he, of course, he recognizes who he's speaking with. Given that you have, some sort of way of acknowledging each other's identity to a degree, so he doesn't spill the beans to the cops or some
Right,
other
yeah,
international organizations. He's curious as to what you're doing in town and how can he help.
Need to meet. It's time sensitive. About someone that I believe has been in contact with you, or has tried to get in contact with you.
And he does ask if you'll give him a name, just to narrow down the
No, I
potential.
would. I'm just wondering if it's over a phone line, if it's the way to go. To go. If he asks, I would tell him that it's Olivia Liu. Or did I just screw
Olivia.
up the name?
You may have. It's okay though.
Olivia Liu.
Olivia Liu.
You say Alyssa Liu, and he's just
skater.
Who?
He's like, aha, we're playing
Olivia
subterfuge.
Yeah.
Yes. He mentions that actually, now I was going to say it. Alyssa was on it right now. Olivia was actually on her way over to see him now, and he mostly asks from this point: is it something he should be worried about? Like, is she dangerous? Like, and all those kind of things, because she seemed like she was seeking
followed.
him.
There were men searching her room when we got to where she was staying.
Okay.
And so they may or may not have your name off of the same thing we got your name off of.
He goes, that's troublesome. Now he's not very far away, so if you since she's not there yet, he had really just he expected her within maybe the minutes. Really, he was actually surprised he got your phone call that this closely timed to when she should be arriving.
Okay.
But he also said that with her having, she was worried about her own safety, so she might be taking extra precautions. It's hard to say in this kind of thing.
Could be.
He knows that she should be close. But yeah. So any other questions you have for Safet at this point?
No, just if
we should talk about the rest in person.
Yeah, we should talk about the rest in person. But if we could do it while Olivia's there without scaring her off, that would be helpful.
Oh, is she? I thought she's not here. She's gone, right?
She hasn't gotten to the meeting yet.
So at this point, with what you guys, with what you can probably piece together between the conversation with Safet and what you know from the room, that she had hastily scribbled, because the writing is terrible, the information about Hassan's address. You didn't see her purse or any of those other kind of travel documents or anything in the room on a quick search through. So there's a chance that she obviously took what she needed to go to Hassan's location. But obviously at this point, people are after her. So you don't know if you'd be able to necessarily rule out the fact that she could be in trouble even as you speak.
Okay.
Yeah, we beeline to Hassan's first.
Okay. So what we're going to do here is this is going to be a little bit of an interesting chase, because right now you guys are kind of going against the clock and you're trying to go through the streets, make your way to the Mellah and all that stuff. But of course you said you're going to use a taxi cab or...
Yeah, whatever kind of ground transportation we can get. That's probably not a public bus. I mean, we want to go to an address.
We probably have got a cab.
Near.
We don't have a car, so we probably got a cab.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to have so you guys quickly hail a taxi cab who's, and we discussed at the beginning that we're not really in the worry about money. Like, no, you can't buy a palace, but you're not going to worry about pocket change in this. So it's not like an issue to raise a cab. But we're going to use a little bit of a chase rules here. And we're going to use, I think in this case, because you guys are taking the cab and they have a roll that they're going to make. But I'd like to know what you're going to roll as part of this chase to help you get ahead in this and reach your goal faster. So what skills do you think would be helpful in this case, typically general skills for
Well,
achieving your chase.
I assume that Jeff has been here before, so he could use his drive to instead of using the driver's drive to make the roll.
So basically, like you helping the driver out would help you
directions.
kind of with directions, and
I mean, drive would cover directions, right?
I'd assume so. And skill, like watch out for that, take a, and then of course you could use those kind of things. Sure.
Unless you disagree, Jeff.
My drive's only 3, but yeah.
But I mean, that's better than
a 1 or a 2.
It's better than 0, which is probably his drive because he's not a trained agent.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Okay. So if you think because this is our first time playing this and all that kind of stuff, they suggest because obviously there's they're going to be doing this, and the opponents in this situation are going to use surveillance. So the game gives 3 typical ideas for it, but since you didn't steal the car, driving may not be your number one thing. Sprinting through the streets would be like an athletics check, and of course, if you play kind of a cat and mouse game,
so giving him directions isn't good enough, is what you're saying. Of the justification.
Well, I'm just saying is that they would say drive is probably an ability, but I'd say you could give him directions and help him, point it out with that as well, if you ask me. So, but they also say surveillance is how you could play cat and mouse, or to either counter or move through the streets kind of at the same time.
Sure, we can use surveillance, but my surveillance is a 3. Is yours any better, Brent?
No, it's like a 1, I'm sure.
So these are just more general suggestions. So if you feel like drive is your best way to go in this situation, it makes the most sense.
If I'm being honest, drive to me feels like me actually driving. Okay. But none of them seem, I don't think surveillance seems.
Yeah, we haven't surveilled anything.
Perfect either, but.
The surveillance would be if we surveilled the situation and made a decision, like we surveilled a route to the location, which we did not do.
Well, and like I said, they suggested if you're playing kind of like the game of cat and mouse, and this is just another way of doing it.
Game of cat and mouse? I assumed we had a lead on them, and they don't know. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have a 1 or 2 or 3 minute lead, and really, honestly, in a city, if we get into a cab, we could have gone any direction, and I don't know. So that's the thing. If they were right behind us, then maybe.
I would assume driving also constitutes its general skills, so I would assume it constitutes like giving them directions as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like I said, it's going to be his skill, which if it's the NPC skill, it's going to be whatever 0. Like a normal person's skill, right?
And I'm not dissuading you from doing it. I was just giving you options in case you wanted to try to
narratively Let me do sense trouble.
Else. Okay.
How are you using sense trouble? That's what his next question is going to be.
It's if I feel like we have a tail, because as far as we know, we got away clean. They didn't appear to have anybody on the back door.
We know the guy's still alive, and we know that they're looking for someone. So we know it's not a clean. We know they're probably looking for us. So I wouldn't say we got away clean.
Well, they're looking for 2 guys that this guy may or may not be able to describe.
The tail makes sense, though, like looking for someone tailing us.
Yeah. I think that's a good narrative thing to include there. So if you want to use your sense trouble pool, and basically what that does in this case is that there's kind of like a high impending, you have Olivia Liu who's on her way to Hassan, but also has potentially agents of similar style to yourselves after her.
Right.
Do you see them among the crowd? Do you know what to look for, as you're driving through on your way to Safet's and all that kind of stuff? So
I mean, there's a reason to suspect we might have a tail, but I still feel like we're getting away pretty clean.
Can well then if we're going to do sense trouble, you should let me do it.
I got a 10.
Oh,
and it's my MOS.
Okay, then you should do it because I have an 8 in sense trouble myself. So
So we
Okay.
could
But
both
if you
sense
get-
trouble.
But you have a 10, you should definitely.
Well, the only one
Well, it's
person
not
gets
like I'm gonna. Yeah, it's not like I'm gonna spend a ton of it. I'll spend
That's what you think.
some, but I'm not spending a ton of it.
Okay. So as you go through this, we're going to use sense trouble
Okay.
for your roll, and I'm going to use a different one for my roll. So
You said you were using surveillance or something else. No.
correct, surveillance.
All right. I'm gonna use 4, so I'll have 6 left.
Oh,
And
man,
because it's my MOS, is that anything additional special?
Once per session, you can automatically succeed using your MOS. So
I'm just going to use 4 dice this time, and then we'll see what happens. Or 4 plus 4, I guess. Right.
So you're going to use 4 points. Okay.
Yeah.
So sure, if you want to. How it works in chases is that you're trying to move a lead back and forth. So if you succeed and the other person fails, then your lead is increased by 2. So you're 2 closer to the target. So like since you're pursuing something, you're 2 closer to the target you're pursuing. If you fail and they succeed, you're 2 farther away on the scale.
Oh, so you're saying this is going to be multiple rounds?
It is. Well, most likely. There's no easy way to beat this in one roll. Although I think, technically you can use an MOS or something like that to bypass chase type situations if you can narratively.
I'm going to use
explain
2 instead. I'm going to use 2 if we got to do this multiple times and we can't switch back and forth.
You could just do 1 as a success and then spend points on subsequent rolls after that. Just as an idea. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine too.
I'm still trying to get used to how this works, spending these, so I'm going to try to.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So I do a D6 plus 2.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and your goal is 4 to begin with, just an FYI.
I got a 3.
So in this case, yep. So so in this case, they succeeded and you did not succeed. So it looks like as you're looking through the crowd and all of those kind of things, what I believe you could probably say is the most the logical outcome here is that they've got a good head start on you. So as you're looking through the crowd, scanning for any signs,
so they're not chasing us, is what you're saying.
No, that's in this case, both of your goal is to get to Olivia Liu. And since you think that she's somewhere between
that
here
was
and
my misunderstanding. I thought they were chasing us, not knowing where we're going.
Oh, my apologies.
Different.
Yeah, I think that was the confusion.
Yeah, that was my confusion.
The goal is to get to Olivia Liu. You're both trying to get there. So in this case, your sense trouble allows you to. So because you failed it, it doesn't seem as though you're able to pick on any kind of normal covert things outside of the throng of the Medina. Liu is you still don't see her in the crowd, although you can probably guess that she's hanging out in some place, staying as visible as possible, because obviously if she knows people are after her, she's less likely to be captured in a busy street than if she were to take alleys and side streets. That would pretty much be asking.
No, that makes
trouble.
sense.
So
okay.
So next,
you know what? Since it's such a crapshoot, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna spend 1 this time.
I mean, you have to beat 4, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a 2. I rolled another 1. I rolled 1 2 times in a row now.
I mean, if you just spend 3 points.
All right.
So we both didn't do well.
So in this case, I'll have to remember what the chase rules says about you're both dying at the exact same. I don't remember if it gives you. Okay. Okay, if the so the pursuer or runner both succeed or fail, the lead alters by 1 depending on whose margin of success or failure was greater. If the pursuer is won by more or lost by less, the lead drops by 1. Otherwise, the lead increases, tie goes to the runner. So in this case, okay. So all right.
So we just
So next.
So in this case, the tie goes to
them.
Me.
They're the runner. Mike's the runner.
No, the runner is the person being pursued, and they're not pursuing either. Neither of us are being pursued. We're both pursuing. So who did the tie go to?
I'm going to say in this case, because of how it's written, the tie would go to me. So, okay. All right, Jeff.
I rolled a 6.
So in these kind of cases, the point of this is to hopefully add some narrative flair to these types of deals. What kind of situation do you think would happen in the Medina, in the marketplace, and all that kind of stuff that would help increase their lead on you to finding Olivia Liu?
No, just us running into a group of tourists, all the stuff you see in like movies, right?
So they got better than the 6 on this one?
Not yet. I'm just saying as we go, just in area, because we didn't really.
Yeah, I would think we would just fall behind, or we thought we saw somebody that looked like Olivia Liu and glanced away and then lost them in the crowd, or.
Well, I mean, you said they already were ahead of us, which means they were just ahead of us. They got a lead on us. So that's narratively what happened the first time, I think.
Yeah, it's to add little tiny details as you go.
The second time, you said they got ahead. So that's probably we got caught up in a crowd. It's traffic jam. The Cabbie got caught in a traffic jam as we were looking around for people following us. Make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So in this case, you win.
Oh, just this
round.
So
in this case, yeah, so you win this round. And so because you were successful, even though both of you succeeded by more from the target number of 4. And so how do you think the sense trouble helped you in this scenario? Like, do you think that helped you identify some people that were maybe...
I think we heard somebody like call out because they were like bumped into, you know what I mean? Like somebody focused on the target, bumped into another pedestrian who, or look out, dummy, or something like that. And that made us look over and we could see them again. We lost them for a second, and now they're not lost.
Okay. So to add to that, in this case, because you're on such high alert, what you see is that thing, but the person that you see has an earpiece in it, not standard issue, probably MI6 or some other agent of some kind, but they have an earpiece in your ear, and you just see it as a dead giveaway from your time that person is probably also on the trail of who you're looking for.
Okay.
So being you recognize it, you said it is standard issue or isn't?
The earpiece?
Yeah.
Yes. It's a fairly standard issue for like MI6. Yes.
Okay. Because I thought you said it wasn't the first time.
No, sorry.
No, you're fine. I just want to make sure we were on the same page.
Okay. All right. So now in this typically, and for people who are watching, this is something that's typically a blind reveal.
Damn, I just rolled another 1.
Okay. So let's see.
So I had a 2, they had a 5.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. And so you find that the throng of people is just, it's too much. And this taxi cab driver just does not seem to have the same sense of urgency. as you do, and so it's the person that you've seen to try to like be like follow that guy, and the taxi driver tried to follow them, but a bunch of people were in the way, and they were easily able to kind of weave back into the crowd to kind of make sure that whatever following that you were doing was unfortunately
okay. So
they were able to kind of
the chase at this point.
You haven't failed the chase, but you guys are getting awfully close to the Medina, and you do not see Olivia Liu, and it seems as though there are some people tailing her, and you cannot seem to pick them out of a crowd. Man, you have rolled a lot of ones here too, Jeff. I'm not going to lie. This is impressive.
No, I rolled 3 ones.
3 out of 4 rounds, right?
Yep.
I don't know how you predict that, honestly.
You don't.
You can just use your cherry this turn and just succeed.
Yeah, I feel dumb after wasting 5, but
you're going to use your MOS on this?
I think I'm going to have to use my MOS.
Well, what is the cherry? Because he's got 10.
Well, MOS and cherry are 2 different things, though. Which one do you mean?
I understand that. I'm asking what is the cherry for sense state?
Oh, okay.
I guess I can look it up. Never mind. Because that might be helpful, and he might not have to use his MOS.
That is possible.
Let me see if I can find that real quick. I thought I had a page with cherries over here. I do have to say there's a lot of cool indices in the back of the book for the addenda. So, but it doesn't look as though that's what I was looking for.
There might not be a cherry for sense trouble. It doesn't look like.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there is.
I thought most of them had one.
Collector, Slayer, those are not cherries at all.
Doesn't seem to have one. Do only the investigative things have cherries?
No.
General has
cherries.
Yeah.
For example.
This stage 219.
Oh, you can use it as an order of action thing if you have an 8 or higher. If you have an 8 or higher, it just affects your initiative.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be helpful in this case.
I do like how they have a Mook Shield cherry. That is.
Yeah, if we're falling behind, I think I'm just going to burn my MOS on this one.
Okay. All right. So in that scenario, what we're going to say is that so in this case, when you burn an MOS and everything like that, what it does is allows you to be successful. Now, when I was reading MOSs and everything like that, like if you had the MOS under drive, you could basically cheat your way out of a chase if you felt like that was the way to go in that scenario. And it seems like in this case, you feel kind of backed up against the wall, and so you're going to use your MOS for sense trouble to try to find Olivia Liu in this crowd and hopefully prevent her from getting possibly abducted by these other operatives and everything like that. So
that's what surveillance would be used for. Is we're trying to find her. They're chasing her, and we're chasing her.
Mm-hmm.
We're not trying to get to Hassan first. We're trying to chase her. We're chasing her. That makes more sense than what I thought was going on.
So tell me, so in this case, with the sense trouble and being able to find the operatives, I'm going to kind of say that pretty much everything kind of is converging at once, and you're kind of swooping in at the last second kind of thing. So describe to me how your character swoops in for a rescue of Olivia Liu, and I've got some extra descriptions to add to this. Like, what do you think your character would do? How would your characters go around this? On your way to Safet's and all that kind of stuff. What does it look like?
I think we tell the cabbie to pull over, and I throw some money at him because it's going too slow. And instead of trying to find the guys that are going there, we're going to go to the place that I think is most likely in the square where Olivia Liu would have gone. Like, this is me using my knowledge of the area, saying this is the most likely place, like a coffee shop with a terrace on the square kind of thing, where hundreds of people could see you at any given moment to see if we could see her. So we went there just on a, wish and a prayer kind of thing.
Okay. And so basically you paid him extra money, you went to this place, and you kind of see Olivia Liu just walking across this square, kind of like clutching her bag, kind of walking that somebody feels like they not trying to walk suspiciously, but somebody that's trying to be on guard for anything that could possibly be happening. And pretty much what you it sounds like you do is you kind of see her as you see other people that look to be making their move. Now, one thing that you see is you see kind of some regular people, just what you would assume are operatives, because they look like they feel the part. You kind of have, with your sense trouble being such a high thing, you just kind of have that sixth sense to see like how they move, the kind of grace that they have, the stiffness in their shoulders, the direct line of sight on Lou and everything like that. And then of course, so at this point you're basically, are you snatching her up and taking her into the cab? Like, what are you doing to kind of like pull her out of the jaws here?
Telling her that she's being followed and we need to be careful how we approach my contact, Safet.
Okay. So are you like dragging her into the cab, like with a sense of urgency, or
just like, come with us. We're here to try to help.
Come with us if you want to live.
I was trying not to say that. But like, we're your chance. Whoever's chasing you, we don't know who they are, but whoever's chasing you, if they catch you first, I think you already know what's going to happen.
Okay. Well, and mentioning Safet's name, she kind of, like she takes a chance. She looks behind her and sees some people. Once they see you make contact, they kind of break their urban camouflage, whatever you want to call it. They stop trying to blend in. They start trying to run in that direction. The one thing you notice, Jeff, is that kind of standing in the shadows of one of the building, that kind of, and it's almost surreal. So as Olivia Liu, she looks at you, she looks at the people that look to be doing the other version of this, which is just kind of black bag her and take her back to a van that's following them. She decides that she's going to come with you because she's going to get into one car, or she's going to get into a vehicle one way or the other. And she's choosing to slide in with you into this, and as you kind of duck her head in and you look over, you see in the shadow of a building, two people that are just, you would think that they're dressed in kind of just casual tourist clothes, just kind of like watching the situation from it. But the way they watch is not normal. The way they almost look predatory would be the way that I would suggest it. One is a smaller lady. She has kind of a big hat on to kind of give as much shade to her as she possibly can. And of course, the other is a guy who looks like, I wouldn't say he's thin, but he's definitely worked. He's worked out. Kind of his hands are in his pockets as he's kind of seeing everything play out right there. and you can see that she kind of does a disappointed like clicking of the tongue as she looks up to him, and without responding, they kind of both they look and put their hand to their ear as you guys start to drive off. Now, in this case, now your guys are trying to get away. So how are you guys going to try to get away from this situation? Because the other people, noticing that you've grabbed Lou, have turned it into what effectively might be a car chase, or another chase that may erupt as you go. What would you like to do?
So this is another car chase, separate car chase from the one we were doing.
It's a separate car chase. You versus the other agents, as they're going to try to get Lou from you.
I will use my sense trouble. Oh, it's Cherry. It's not my MOS. Your MOS is what does that, not a Cherry. What do we have?
Yeah, if you got an idea, I mean, you can just try to roll against them. You don't have to spend it. But
I was curious how you were going to approach this, Brent. That's how I was curious on here. That's what I was saying. Because what is your MOS again, Brent? Conceal,
which isn't people. So I got nothing, Jeff. Go. It's up to you still.
I'm just going to open roll with surveillance.
You can use your surveillance points then.
Yeah, I've only got 3 though.
It's more than me.
All right, I will use surveillance, Mike, and I will try to roll. See if I can dole these out one at a time and see if I can get lucky.
Okay.
The first roll is a 3 because I rolled a 2, so that's better than the 1s, but 2 plus 1 is 3, and my surveillance goes down to 2.
We kind of did this backwards. This would have been a better one to use sense trouble on, and the other one would have been better.
Probably, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I lost that one.
Okay, so you can tell that as you're trying to get the cabbie to go, why don't you describe how this is not going your way, as the other people have basically a large white van barreling down on you with maybe the intent to ram you or something.
I saw a hole in the people crossing the street, and I told him to punch it, and he hesitated.
He's like, I don't know what I've gotten into, and starts screaming at you in multiple languages. Is that kind of what you've expected here?
Yeah. No, I think now he's pretending like he doesn't understand me. So I start cursing back in Arabic. Whether he understands it or not is up to him. But yeah, I think that slowed us down from being able to get a clean getaway.
Okay.
You know? And so that lets them get closer. I don't know. Are they close enough that one fail meant that they, were able to ram the cab, and now we have an accident scene? And
no, it's like you guys are basically at this point. You can see that you're being chased by this one vehicle. You're not sure if there are others that will join in the pursuit, but obviously at this point,
he hesitated, and now it's harder to get away. Sure,
correct. Yep. All right. So what is going to be the next part? What are you going to do?
I think still try to get away. Surveillance again. I got a 7 this time.
Okay.
And my surveillance is down to 1.
Okay. So you both succeeded, but you're able to build up the lead a little bit.
Apparently, my feeling is that my yelling is working, so I continue to yell at him and continue to toss low-value bills up into the seat to make it look like I'm giving him a lot.
It's just like, because you obviously speak a lot of languages too, right? Like, so
yeah.
It seems like he's trying to switch languages, but it's like somebody going up to somebody who's like, do you speak English? He's like, no, hablo inglés,
Yeah. Do you speak money?
And then you speak, wow.
I rolled another 7.
Okay, you increase that lead.
But my surveillance is now at 0.
Now, I'd have to double check because I thought with the chase rules and everything like that, there's typically one person that. How does that work here?
No, I thought you said it was 1 that we couldn't switch. Brent doesn't have any surveillance.
I have 1 point in surveillance.
Oh, you have 1 point.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it says in each round of the chase, the bad guys and one player character make ability tests against difficulty 4.
Would you like to make an ability test, Brent? I feel like I've rolled 100 times tonight.
Can I use my preparedness cherry to make I previously planned if we had to get away from something in this case that we could, there was some sort of parade or traffic jam that I had set up. I have an 8 in preparedness.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, so basically, what it could just be as simple as saying is you took a look at the traffic patterns and you could say like, I know where the traffic is going to be really bad, and whether or not it's a parade or whatever.
I anticipate this is what it said. This is what the rule says.
Yeah.
The rule says a traffic startling parade whose route you researched before the operation began.
Oh, sure. Then,
so I assumed as soon as I found out that we were going to this location, I set up a plan in place where I could direct us to that with the anticipation that I had set up something to cause a diversion. It could either be, it could even be a smoke bomb that went off or something that caused a large crowd of people to get in front of their pursuers.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Well, let's roll some dice.
What do I need to spend?
It's up to
do I need to make a preparedness roll?
You would make a preparedness roll, yeah, and you could spend points as it's a typical roll.
Is it what's the target number? 4?
4.
Yeah. I'm going to spend 5 points.
Oh, wow.
Brent's tired of watching me mess around.
So I rolled a 10. No, I just think we need to get
I was trying to play the odds, man. I was trying to get an edge. And Brent was just like, screw the edge. You want a hammer.
Brent, in this case, you so basically which would you prefer? Would you prefer like a smoke bomb type deal? Would you prefer like synchronizing it with a popular arts festival?
It doesn't matter as long as we get away. That's all I care about. What narratively do you prefer?
Okay. So at this point, you've increased your lead because you've used, in this case, your preparedness to take the situation through probably the most, somehow you found a place that's even more cramped and crowded and everything like that. The taxi driver, having home field advantage here, is able to navigate through the throng of people without getting necessarily in trouble or anything like that. Whereas the people driving the van do not have that same luxury. So you are able to lose them somewhat in the crowd. Let's see here.
Somewhat. So we haven't lost them, is what you're saying.
Mm-mm.
We're still in the chase. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
How much more do we need success-wise?
Okay.
Because I got 4 ahead of them, right?
Yeah. Well, so this is where it was. Remember, if you're successful and they're not, you get 2. If you're successful and they're successful, you get 1. Whoever's more successful, and then if you both fail, then whoever, unless it's a tie, then it goes to a runner. So,
okay.
Okay. All right. So, okay, I have this. So 1 second here. Pause. I think I was going the wrong direction. Let's see.
What do you mean you think you were going in the wrong direction?
Define
that for me. What do you mean?
I'm tracking something, but I think I was going the wrong direction. So 1 second. So Rory,
we had a failure on my first one, a success on my second one, a success on my third one,
8,
and then a success on Brent. So we've had 3 successes and 1 failure.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was all backwards. Okay. So yes, continuing on here. You feel like that you feel like at this point you're able to buy a pretty good lead with that, and you can probably you're kind of at that edge. Could they just start driving through the people and increase your heat in Marrakesh to have a high-speed car chase? Definitely. But there is also a chance here for you to get out and possibly get away from your pursuers. Jeff or Brett, what are you going to do in this case?
I'll do another preparedness roll with the same.
Okay.
I mean, that's what the preparedness is for. So I'll spend the last 3 points on preparedness. Oops, I think I did that wrong.
Okay.
I rolled a 6.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Well done.
So in this case, Brett rolled a 6, which is a success, and the pursuers rolled a 3, which was a failure, which means you increase your lead by 2, bringing it down to 0, and boom. So now, so describe in this case, because you were still using the throng of the crowd and basically going through like this festival to make your escape. And basically what you found is that them bringing a small cadre of operatives in a white van was just too much, whereas you guys had a small Toyota taxi cab and were able to kind of dodge through the crowd with more ease because of your taxi driver having capability to do so. So at this point, you like looking back, scanning the crowd, everything like that. You're sure that they're not an immediate threat. You have made your way out. They're not there. However, Olivia Liu is kind of freaking out, having driven through all those kind of things, the stress of being there. You guys aren't really that close to Hasan Safet at this point. But you can tell that you can definitely tell that there's you at least have a moment to breathe. So Lou, first of all, doesn't know who those people were and what they were doing, but she also doesn't know who you are, so she wants you to start talking fast. Her investigative fight or flight response is starting to kick in.
I'll let you explain since you're the asset handler.
I tell her that we got a message that she was in trouble, that we sometimes take these kinds of jobs, and that we should try to find her and help her where we can. I'd even pull out my phone and show her the email or however we got contacted.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you can't fake that kind of stuff, but it's up to her.
Yeah. She looks and she's like, fuck. She kind of swears under her breath because the person that sent you after her definitely seems to be the person that was Lou's source for kind of the first domino in her researching these corporations and everything like that to try to understand what they were doing,
Okay.
that was below board. Lou tells you that they never met this source, only communicated online. Doesn't know if it's he or she, but she is pretty sure they are based in London, and that's pretty much the extent of what she's able to give you from that type of deal. Now, so I guess, do you have any questions for her before?
What are you investigating, and why are there people after you that is endangering your life? We got to your hotel room. There were men there searching it, obviously looking for something.
Mm-hmm.
We took everything that looked like it was of value, but we haven't had time to look through it. So it would help us out if you could give us an idea of what we've stumbled into here.
Okay. Yeah, and so she basically is she's stressed. So, and out of curiosity, are you guys exiting the taxi cab when you're sure it's clear and kind of going
I think we
someplace
should
private,
send the
or
taxi cab on and try to walk,
Yeah,
or
that's fine.
find someplace where we can talk for a few minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, all right. You find a cafe that's off the main road a little bit, that allows you to kind of have a little bit of privacy. It's not too busy.
Small or dirty windows.
Yeah, and you can get some sort of coffee service or something like that while you're there.
Sure.
And I mean, she doesn't really like know where to begin, so she kind of like almost just basically introduces herself, and she's just like, I've done my fair share of dangerous stories, but this has been pretty much the worst. I mean, when you're looking at like what she describes what she was looking at, I mean, obviously this person that contacted you was the same person that contacted her, and they were sending over information about this Romanian mining industry, but it was mixed up with a lot of weird stuff with vampires. The intel was good, and so like when she started communicating with them, and the amount of information that they was able to feed her proved to be reliable, she followed this company into an exploratory dig in the Carpathian Mountains. Now, I mean, she was under the impression that obviously they were doing something illegal and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Right. When she says reliable in what sense? Because they were talking
other
about
types of exposing other types of misdeeds by this by this company. So she's basically gone. She said that so when they had an exploratory dig in the Carpathian Mountains, and it turned out it was a cover for something else, she wasn't really sure what they were trying to dig up. However, when she was kind of like gathering her information for the article that she was writing, she was seen by the guards, and she's pretty much been on the run ever since, because they literally tried to kill her. It wasn't one of those like, hey, you're trespassing kind of deals where, obviously she's had that in the past too. This was different. They literally tried to kill her the instant they saw her. And something else that is just really wild is that, she's had terrible nightmares every night since then. And she dreams of a pale man with red eyes that just kind of haunt her. Now, she does also take out her photos. She has like developed photos that she took, and it looks like the dig site that she was talking about, they're excavating the remains of some medieval castle. And it seems like, I mean, obviously you guys both have vampireology as investigative skills, and medieval Transylvania, vampires, interesting dots.
Yeah, I'll make a spend. Do I have to make a spend to know what's going on? Okay.
Well, you would say to you, without the spend or anything like that, there's nothing more if you spend here, but you would say that this kind of medieval castle seems to be in almost the heart of the areas that through the legends had vampires possibly in it. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that's what this company is looking for, but obviously if they are trying to excavate some sort of ancient vampire, if such a thing could be found there, that would be very bad. It seems like they're still searching for something based on the photos that Lou has. So there is possibly a way to stop them with, say, I don't know, a bunch of C4 and a quick trip to Romania. You could definitely do so. So she kind of like, after she lays it all bare, she takes a sip of a kind of a deep sip of her coffee, kind of leans back, and she's kind of at a loss because she feels a little bit scared for her own safety, because she doesn't exactly know what all this is. This seems to go a little bit bigger than just some corporate, exploitation of, the local government and all that kind of stuff. This seems to be something a little bigger than she anticipated.
Okay.
So what was she going to Hassan about? Just an organization to go to? Where was she going?
She was going to Hassan because he was going to smuggle her out of Morocco. She felt like the net was closing in on her, and he was ultimately going to help her escape and then kind of lay low after that. Hopefully, using Hassan to get her out would allow her to at least get off the grid for a little bit.
Okay, we should go to Hassan then.
Yeah, we're going to take her to Hassan so she can at least leave. And then I guess we're going to go to Romania, right?
I think so.
Okay. All right. So, do you contact Hassan to talk with him before?
Okay. Because we got delayed. Just to let him know that we found Olivia. We think that we shook the tail, but that doesn't mean they don't know about him. So,
okay.
Does he sound odd on the phone?
Does he sound odd?
Do I hear any stressors in his voice? Like somebody's got a gun to his head to say the right things?
That is a very interesting thing to check. What kind of investigation skill would you use for that?
Well, sense
bullshit detector
or bullshit detector would work.
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
Okay, I don't know. Am I using it right? I'm sorry.
No, bullshit detector would be a good one. Yeah.
Okay.
If he's bullshitting you on the phone, I mean, you could just ask him, "Hey, is there anybody there?" And then that would definitely be a bullshit detector.
That's true. Okay. Yeah. No, that's good. That's a good way to couch it.
Sense trouble would be more like you're just trying to read him. Does this game have a human terrain sort of skill?
I believe it does have human terrain.
Human terrain would be another good one. Mm-hmm. But bullshit detector would be trying to catch him in a lie, like trying to catch him in a like if you're like, is it safe to come and see you still? And he was like, oh yeah, it's safe, and he was not telling the truth. Would be how what bullshit detector would
be. Okay. Well,
I mean that's your call ultimately.
No, I think trying to say something basic like that, to see if I can catch him in a lie, to see if there's any, wavering in his voice or anything like that.
So you contact Hassan on your kind of like private line to reach him, and he picks up the phone after one ring, and like
actually bullshit detector is body language.
Is it just body language?
Mm-hmm. It says
there's no vocal component to that.
You can tell when a person is attempting to project a false impression through body language, using the human capacity to judge and sense motivation and character. Basically, this ability allows you to tell if someone is lying to you and with a pen make a decent guess about their motives. That doesn't tell you that they're lying about specifically. Or
no. Okay, I see that. Okay, so bullshit detector is not a good one to use.
Well, it can be. Just it's situational.
Yeah, that's Mike's call, really.
No, just trying to.
And human terrain isn't either, really.
No, human terrain is pretty specific.
Yep.
But regardless, so Hassan picks up the phone after just one ring, and he's like, are you safe?
For the moment.
Yes. And he's like, well, I hope you didn't make it to my my apartment, or his office, because right now it's not a very good place to be.
So did you get away fine?
Yeah, they were pretty clumsy. I have a way of getting in and out without really being seen, but I have a feeling I won't be able to go back to that office for a little while, and I'll have to apologize. And he mentions his landlord's name, and he says I'll have to make amends at some point. But it seems like there's some beehive that's really worked up right now. Kind of uses an analogy to explain that there's a lot of activity in the area going. But he does check in on you to see how you're doing and if you're okay.
I give him the basics. that we found the target, that there were other people trying to acquire the same target, but we think that we lost them for now.
Okay. Well, and he
that they seem
mentions,
to have outside help.
Well, he mentions that because he keeps apprised of pretty much all the chatter that's around, and he said that there was a lot of activity through a British outpost in Gibraltar. And he wasn't exactly sure to the scale or anything like that, but whatever Olivia knows or has, definitely something that they want. So that is definitely concerning. He doesn't really like to handle super hot type situations, but because he knows you, and obviously he was amenable to smuggling out of the country before, he could probably still help you in this case for a friend, he says. And money.
Now I really
obviously he says that plus money.
Well, yeah, I didn't think he was doing it for free. I'm assuming she'd already paid, though. Okay. Where should we meet?
He gives you kind of an obscure address, actually fairly far away from from the Medina, kind of taking you to another part of town where you can meet in relative secret.
Okay.
We also need to arrange for him to get us to Romania.
He says he can make the arrangements.
Unless you have another contact. I mean, I'm not talking to him, so I can't.
Right. No. I figured we could talk to him. If we could get her out safely, we could talk to him about that, because I don't know that anybody can prove that we did anything wrong, but maybe. I don't know how dangerous it is for us. If we had just done this chase in a city like London with all the surveillance that it has, I'd be more nervous.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm concerned, but I'm also not.
The distraction could have got him away. It's more just trying to get us where we need to go.
That's true. Yeah, I'll mention it to him and ask him if he's got any way to get us to Romania.
He's got his ways.
Okay.
So you meet with Hassan, kind of in a I would say definitely not as lively of a district as the market is and everything like that, but still, there's open shops. It's late. People are enjoying the cooler night and everything like that. And so, but he's willing to help Olivia. He tries to negotiate with her a little bit on the price, considering that there's a few more complications than there were before, and he's going to have to pay some more bribes and all of those kind of things. Olivia does agree to pay, because at this point she's like, that'll leave me with very, very little, but if we can get to a place where I can maybe make some withdrawals, I'll be fine. And for you guys, he charges you his fairly standard rate to connect you and get you out of the country into Romania. He's going to take you like on basically a small plane over to another airport outside of Marrakesh, and then from there you'll fly on a small flight, kind of a hopper over to Romania. And he has that worked out relatively quickly.
Okay.
All right. So next time we will be in Romania, and I think that's where we can call it for tonight.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Hopefully the chase rules. Hopefully I wasn't too obtuse with those. I'll take a listen to them again later when we do the episode and all that. But
it's the first time that we're doing it, and I understand it now. I think I was a little mistaken at the beginning when we first started the chase.
Oh, yeah, it's a traffic analysis skill.
Yeah, there is, but it's also, all of these skills are really specific when you start reading them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is both good and bad.
But I think the first confusion is I thought they were chasing us.
Yeah, and that's my mistake.
I think we didn't know I didn't realize we were both chasing her.
Right.
Yeah.
That
Which,
no,
if
that
we
that
had
was
known
definitely
that-
my confusion.
If we had known that, surveillance would have made more sense because we were trying to find her.
Yeah, sorry. I thought I mentioned it, so I apologized again. But it's all good. The chase
no,
rules
it's
are,
good, yeah.
are definitely. It's just interesting because again, since there's a lot of narrative stuff and all that. I think that the general abilities and all that kind of stuff, there is a lot of director's discretion that goes into them. So like if you can make a good reason for why your why your general skill, which may be described in a certain way, may benefit you in another way, you can use that. So I think that's that's good too. So yeah. So next week we'll be in Romania. Olivia is safe and sound, maybe. But she's definitely not your most immediate concern now.
There's
Romania
definitely
is.
a vampire visiting her in her dreams.
And
those are probably vampires watching us.
I'm not saying my character knows that, but I'm saying that is my player suspicion. But that's metagamey stuff, so I didn't mention it at the time.
I mean, you can be as assumptive as you want. We do have vampire lore, so we do know some stuff.
We do.
Yeah. Yeah, you could know that sounds fairly
Even if I would have known that, I don't think I would have said that to her when we were trying to get her to calm down.
No, it sounds like you have dead guys that want to eat you. Yeah, that's probably a bad sign.
Yeah, you guys got this.
Have you noticed any odd puncture wounds anywhere on your body?
It sounds like they're digging up
around
an
a
ancient
vein
evil
or an artery.
It sounds like they're digging up an ancient evil in Romania. That's probably bad.
Sounds normal. Yeah,
exactly.
No, I like it. Well, but yeah, and I think that again, I think we had the same a little herky jerky in the beginning, Brent, when we played the Cthulhu Confidential, just because I think that there's a narrative component and a mechanical component until you kind of get the swing of things with how they can work.
And it just has to be really clear, so the skills you're choosing make narrative sense. That's the thing. It has to be like pretty crystal clear as to what you're actually doing.
Yeah, and that's just part of the fun, right? So there we go. That's the
second session of the Harker Intrusion.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're not dead yet.
We survived so far.
Yeah. You have survived. So we'll see you in Romania.
Awesome.
Indeed.
So come with us for next week to find out what's in Romania. Is it a vampire? Or maybe they just looking up some
spoiler alert, it's a vampire. It's like Black Agents, for Christ's sakes.
Knights Black Agents. Oh, you go to this ancient dig site in Romania in a medieval castle in Transylvania. What do you find?
There's a hippie
cookbooks,
there
a garlic farmer,
and
yeah, you find cookbooks. It's just ancient Transylvanian.
That
cookbooks.
Would be hilarious.
That's a different game. A little more gonzo than what we're playing here.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So, all right. Well, thank you everybody if you made it this far. We hope you appreciate it. We'll get our we're having just our own fun doing this, and we'll see how it all turns out. So, Jeff, do you want to tell them how they can contact us outside of?
Yeah, you can find us on social media. We're at Rollwise. We're on Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Twitter. You can also email us, rollwiseguys@gmail.com.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And as always, roll well, roll wise, and be safe out there, everybody.